Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. So today we're going to be talking about Cancer season, which began on June 21st and goes until July 21st. And this happens every year as the sun moves through the sign of Cancer. And so we experience this as a collective energy. This reading is not going to be specific to any one sign. We're going to be talking about the collective energy that we're experiencing, and we're going to be drawing cards, giving us general guidance on how to navigate this season. And so Cancer is the fourth sign in the zodiac. It is the first water sign in the zodiac and the first emotional sign as we move through the development of self that begins with that initiating burst of energy that is Aries, and then continues to progress through Taurus, where we're beginning to understand and relate to our physical body, to the world around us, to understand the world outside of ourselves, and then into Gemini. And in Gemini, we begin to develop our intellect. We begin to have conversations to learn how to communicate with other people. And then as we move into Cancer, we begin to experience our feelings and become aware of our emotional body. So this is a highly emotional time for most of us. It can be a time where we're brought back to childhood emotions, childhood memories, things coming to the surface. Cancer deals with the mystical. It deals with the unconscious, the intuition. It's very much the moon energy being ruled by the moon. And so we have a lot of those subconscious energies that are brought to the surface. A lot of that old trauma sometimes that comes up. A lot of those old feelings from our past that we thought we had buried. And oftentimes it can go all the way back to childhood. Cancer rules the fourth house. And the fourth house is the house of the home and the family. And so we have a lot of home-oriented energies. We have a lot of family-oriented energies. It is the sign of the mother. And so there's that energy of nurturing. Cancer is a very loving and nurturing sign. So we're working on our nurturing qualities and abilities. And we're really understanding the role that we play when it comes to nurturing ourselves, as well as how we nurture others. And how do we best nurture others? By first, of course, nurturing ourselves. And so it's that energy of give and take. It's that energy of balancing out these qualities that we're going to be working through and coming to a deepening understanding of as we move through Cancer season. So we can expect a lot of purging, a lot of releasing, a lot coming up to be looked at, but we can also appreciate and expect a deepening in our relationships, a deepening in our bonds, a deepening in our emotional connection, both to ourselves and to others in our lives, and to really get to know ourselves better on a deeper level. When we talk about the fourth house, which Cancer rules, we're not just talking about the home and the family and the childhood. We're also talking about the bedrock of the soul. So the fourth house is part of what we call in the astrological chart the trinity of the soul. The fourth house, the eighth house, and the 12th house all make up these different aspects of our soul energy and represent these aspects of ourselves. And so with this fourth house energy, this is the foundation of our soul, of who we are, like a deeper understanding of who we are. Aries and the first house is that, I don't want to say more shallow, but that first spark and understanding and presentation of who we are. But the fourth house goes deeper. This is, remember, it's the moon energy. And this is the person that we are, that we don't necessarily always show the world, that we don't even necessarily always see ourselves, right? Because it's more instinctual, it's more private, it's more personal. And so we're really delving deeper into the mystery of the self as we move through Cancer season, and all the different ways that we can really deepen our sense of self-love. I'm feeling self-love coming up very strongly for us as we move through Cancer season. A deepening of that journey, a deepening of what that means to us. And so let's start out with some Black Moon astrology cards here. Clear. Some guidance, some energy for Cancer season. And as the sun is transiting Cancer, wherever this is happening in your natal chart is going to be where there's a lot of focus going on right now. There's a lot of focus of these energies And just, it's an area that is very illuminated, just in every sense of the word. An area where you're really stand out, where you're really going to notice things going on this for the next, I don't know if it's 28 days, 30 days, however many days, from the 21st to the 21st. First card out is Aries, I am. So that's interesting, right? We were talking about that first house energy and how that deepens into a deeper understanding of ourselves as we move into the fourth house. So there's a lot of this energy, Cancer season, really bringing people into their empowerment. This is an energy of what I'm feeling from Aries right now is that energy of fearlessness, of courage, right? And so when we say fearlessness, we don't mean the absence of fear. We mean the ability to move through it. And so us really getting a stronger ability to do that, to move through our fears, which is really powerful. It's like Aries is a fire sign, right? So I'm getting that image of like walking through the fire, which is really, is definitely fascinating. So it's like, and I don't know how this is going to develop for us as we move through Cancer season. The deepening relationship with ourselves, perhaps, the purging of some of these emotions. We have the 12th house, which is escape. But this is one of those Trinity of the Soul houses that we were talking about. The 12th house is the house of the absolute unconscious. This is the house where we merge back, we become one again. It's a very mysterious house. It's very difficult to even describe or understand. So it's like the deeper mysteries of who we are that are coming to the surface. The deeper, I'm being drawn to the spiral on this card. And the phases of the moon up above, right? And so the evolution, it's a deeper twist in the spiral of our evolutionary journey that we're going to be experiencing. And the moons around this time are going to be very powerful. I'm feeling that Capricorn full moon coming up in a couple days. We are doing the full moon releasing and consciousness raising ceremony. The info for that is in the description box below if you want to join that. Check that out. But yeah, the moons during Cancer season going to be especially powerful, which makes sense. Cancer being ruled by the moon. And the moon ruling that fourth house, of course. And so, yeah, just a deepening understanding of who we are, right? This is the I am card. And as we come into this deeper understanding of who we are, it gives us more courage. It gives us more courage to take charge and step forward in our lives in the ways that we're being called to step forward. And that we do, of course, with all of this intensity of emotion, that energy that also can come with the 12th house of escape. Like, we do want to be aware of that. We want to be aware that we're not seeking out ways of escaping our feelings, of numbing out. And we all do this in different ways. So there may be old coping mechanisms, right? We were talking about the energies from childhood that tend to come up, or from our younger ages, right? And so there may be a deepening of the spiral, a deepening of healing around coping mechanisms. We may notice some of those starting to peak back up again. Maybe ones that we didn't even know still existed within us. We may be drawn to those things as ways to escape. And so we're being asked to avoid that. We're being offered an opportunity to evolve even more deeply beyond that right now. Yeah, and for some people, there's going to be a healing of this. For people who do find themselves sometimes being more reactionary, super fiery, this Aries energy, we may be feeling a healing around that, where people are being able to learn how to drop more, right? This is very masculine energy, right? And Cancer is very feminine energy. And so learning how to drop more into our feminine. Learning how to drop more into our feminine during Cancer season. How to really be receptive. How to really be open. And that's going to deepen our intuition as well, of course. How to be in that place of inaction. How to understand the balance between action and inaction. And the understanding of inaction as an action. Like, we're really being asked to rest. We are in the middle of retrograde season. and in Cancer season. So there's a lot of energy that is asking us to slow down a little bit, asking us to reconsider, asking us to reevaluate, asking us to really go deep within ourselves, right? That Neptune retrograde, that Jupiter retrograde, that Saturn retrograde. Yeah, to really work on balancing and honing and stepping into and tapping into that feminine energy. And I think that there's something about our relationship with our feminine energy that's then going to allow us to really to utilize that masculine energy when we step forward and step out into the world again with that much more finesse, right? Like, it's not that overbearing, overpowering power over masculine energy. It's the power with feminine energy. It's that it's the strong approach that isn't forceful, if you guys know what I mean. And so the card that dropped there, oh, it didn't drop fully. There we go, is the lunar eclipse card, change. So there's a lot of changes, and once again, we see all those phases of the moon there, right? That moon energy, very, very powerful to work with this Cancer energy this month. Really work with the energy of the moon. Really pay attention to the full moon, the new moon, possibly all the different phases of the moon. Work with those and appreciate the changes that each new cycle of the moon brings. There's a lot of change that is coming in for us, a lot of major shifts that are going to be happening, and a lot of these shifts are going to be internal. And so we're not necessarily going to see them immediately manifested in the external world. This is going to be an inside, like that, the inside job kind of energy. And so we're just being asked to trust in that process right now, and to know that even if it's not being mirrored on the outside, major changes are happening. And yeah, the solar eclipse card almost wanted to pop out there, revolution. And that's really interesting because the lunar and the solar eclipse, the feminine and the masculine, right? A lot of changes. I'm also feeling the internalization and the integration and the actualization of a lot of changes and shifts that happened during eclipse season for us. Like, really bringing those in. It's like we had all of these awakenings and understandings, and things were shifted in our lives. We received a lot of downloads and activations, and now all of that is integrating and anchoring in, and we're being asked to take that time to allow that process to occur, and to do so with gentleness, with ease, with grace, with tenderness. And the Jupiter return benefits card, right? So there are the changes that are happening right now, and this came out, I think this was in the live that I just did before recording this video. All the changes that are happening right now are for your benefit, even if they don't seem that way in the moment. And I'm looking at the Jupiter return card now, and I'm noticing it looks like two lovers. And so for some people, there may be changes in relationship as well that have happened. And these changes in relationship may be puzzling you, may be bothering you, may be dismaying you. But just understand that that's all happening for your benefit as well. Yeah. I also feel like I'm seeing benefits. I'm thinking friends with benefits. And so there may be changes there as well. Just relationship statuses in general may change. People who may find yourself in that type of situation may find yourself falling out of it, or falling more deeply into something more substantial. Right? That Cancer energy makes us want to settle down. It makes us want to commit. It is the family energy. For some people, maybe starting families. Right? The change, the seasons, the cycles, the moon phases. This woman has a very Madonna-like figure, and she made me think of a pregnant woman when I saw her. When that card first came out. So people starting families around this time, possibly. Yep, there it is. Solar eclipse. Boom. Yeah, these changes, I don't think we can even perceive of the benefits that are coming from them. The what we are receiving, like, it's really going to blow our minds, I feel like. I feel like it's so quiet. It's like we're in the womb, right, with Cancer energy. We're in the womb. We're in that place, that null place, that void place, that emptiness, floating in that. Just allowing that process to occur. And then all of a sudden, it's like we burst out of that completely renewed. And there is just this, it's definitely an energy of renewal. As we said, there may be a lot of releasing, a lot of purging, a deeper layer of healing. But that deeper layer of healing is really leading to incredible things. And this is card number 44. 4-4. Yeah, we got a lot of fours here. 43, 49, 44. Yeah. The blessings are going to be immense, is what I feel. And then we have the 5th house, creativity, and Sagittarius IC. So this is a revolution in creativity as well. Really becoming inspired in new ways. Becoming inspired to reach new heights. Really getting a deeper level of clarity around what it is that we want to create and how it is that we want to bring that into fruition. Yeah, just lots of deep insights being revealed. Anything else with this energy? Neptune. Yeah. And this definitely feels like Capricorn full moon energy too here, with the understanding of where it is that we want to go and how it is that we're meant to get there, and what it is, what sacrifices do we need to make along the way, right? What do we need to do? What is the practical application of our creativity? And really divinely inspired creativity, I feel like. Really divinely inspired creativity. And a lot of powerful Jupiter energy here. We have the Jupiter return. We have Sagittarius, who's ruled by Jupiter. And we have the Jupiter and the Neptune retrogrades, right? And we have a Jupiter and a Neptune card here. So definitely those retrogrades, I think, factoring heavily into this Cancer season. And the revelations, it's like we're really going inside. The Sagittarius card is all about our beliefs, our morals, our ideals, our values, right? Our faith. So a real deepening of our faith and a real exploration of that. And the ways that we can apply that, the ways that we're being inspired, the things that we're being shown, and that we're then being called to bring into creation, to bring into existence. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the 7th house partners. So that partnership energy coming through strong as well. Let's get some moonology cards here. Clear. I feel like we're going to do a bunch of moon cards just because this is Cancer, right? Cancer season. That moon energy. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. So that energy of us really working through, this is some of that deeper stuff coming up, right? That we were talking about, that deep past energy that's coming to the surface. Those fears that are coming up in order to be worked through so that we can build more faith, right? Let's get some more energy. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Nothing will come of this situation. So this is the energy that we were just talking about, right? So this is the energy of balancing that masculine and that feminine, right? The Pisces fish, they represent all of the polarities, all of the dualities, and the balancing of those. And so this is like, I receive the divine inspiration, but then what are the practical steps that I take, right? So this is very much that full moon in Capricorn energy too. What are the practical steps that I then need to take, right? Co-creation is a process. It's a dance. We don't just set our intentions and sit back on our laurels and do nothing. We set our intentions and then we take the actions that we're inspired to take. We capitalize on the opportunities. A lot of people think, they imagine, like, they think of The Secret, the law of attraction, and they're just like, oh, I just imagine that $1 million is going to fall into my lap. And then I'll just get a check in the mail one day. That's not really how it works. Most of the time what happens is we get opportunities, and those opportunities are what lead to the manifestations, but we have to take action on those opportunities. We have to seize those opportunities. That carpe diem kind of energy, right? And so this is also us learning how to balance our spiritual and our practical sides. And this is that Capricorn Cancer axis, right? The opposing sign to Cancer is Capricorn. And so that is the energy that we're balancing, that energy of moving forward, that energy of ambition, that energy of achievement, with that deep spiritual intuitive energy of Cancer. Right? We're balancing the family and we're balancing the career. We're balancing all of these different things. And with nothing will come of this situation. This card to me always represents, or often represents, don't worry. Release our worries. Your fears, I'm also feeling like if we allow our fears to get the best of us, they will, like, that the effect that's going to have, the way that, like, we're going to be noticing this season how it is that we let our fears cripple us, right? How it is that our fears sometimes make us wanting to be like that crab crawling back into its shell, and we're understanding when it is that we need to be in that shell and when it is that we're able to come out of that. And if we focus on our fears, it may negate some of our blessings. It may make us miss some of our blessings, some of our opportunities, and we don't want to do that. If we do work through those fears, then we can expect positive things to result, really big, beautiful, bold, positive changes. It's that worry. We want to release some of that worry. So I feel like some people are excessively worrying about things that don't need to be worried about. And so it's taking that time to breathe out, taking that time to go within. That time to be receptive, to be in our feminine. And then that energy of giving, right? Giving, offering that helping hand, being of service, finding the ways that we can be of service to others. Yes, we always want to make sure our own cup is full. But when our cup is full and we have those opportunities to be of service to another, to do so, to take advantage of those. And to really, I think we're going to be learning a lot about our relationships during this cycle, and about where it is that we may be looking at things from the lens of what can you do for me, or what are you doing for me. I'm thinking of that Janet Jackson song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? But and in some points when we are in a very unbalanced relationship, it's important to notice that. But sometimes we get so caught up in that mentality that we're looking at things upside down. And so we want to flip the focus of that. Remember, retrograde season, that's what it's all about. And look at, instead of asking what this person has done for me, what can I do for them? And of course, this doesn't apply if you're the one constantly doing, right? Then it's time to take a look at that. But in some of these scenarios, we may be called back to that, where it's looking less at what we can get and more at what we can give. And then on the bottom of the deck, of course, have faith in your dreams. That faith energy coming through strongly. All right, we're going to pull another moon deck and see what these cards have to say. Clear. Cancer season. Let's get some energies for Cancer season. We have extremes coming out with focus. And so these extremes, like we said, there's going to be a lot of extreme emotions going on. There's going to be, this looks like a hot summery moon to me, right? There's going to be just a lot of that intensity. Oh yes, the hot moon. A lot of that intensity in the air. And so we want to keep our focus balanced. We want to keep our focus on the things that we desire, yes, on the desirable outcomes. But we also want to keep it balanced, I'm feeling, with this extremes card. It's like we don't want to go to the extreme. And this is where we talk about the balancing of the career and the home, the balancing of these different aspects of the self. where we don't want to put all of our focus so strongly on one thing that we lose sight of everything else. I feel like there for some people there's like extreme passion and intensity that comes in and sort of like has the potential to derail our focus. And so we want to make sure that it's like a prioritizing of our focus. We want to make sure that we're prioritizing what we're focused on. That we're focused on the things that really matter. And that we're not allowing ourselves to get sidetracked. But at the same time, we're staying balanced. And I'm also really noticing how, I mean, look at the water. This is my favorite card in this deck. It's so beautiful. But she's halfway submerged in water. All right, so she's really submerging in her. This is a very feminine energy here. She's very submerged in her feminine. She's got this butterfly just above her third eye there. So this is a focusing inward. She's very inwardly focused on this card. She's very inwardly focused. And so it's when we feel those extremes of emotions rising within us, when we notice extremes anywhere in our lives that are throwing us off balance, go back into that feminine, go back into that receptive state, go back within and really seek that balance. This is about finding our balance within so that we can have balance without. I love how that just gently flew out there. And this is anything but a gentle card, though. This is the card of change. And this came out last time, I think, as well. And I think the focus card did, too. So 2 cards denoting change coming out in this reading. So there's a lot of that. A lot of shifts and a lot of changes happening. So focus on the changes that you want to make. Focus on the shifts, whatever you're wanting to change or shift right now, especially if it's within. And remember, everything without is a reflection of within. So we're always wanting to shift within if we're wanting to shift without. You have a lot of power and ability to do that right now. And then the nourishment card coming out, reminding us to care very deeply for ourselves, to nourish others during this time. There's a lot of food on this card and the water sprinkling down. And so it's really, we're being asked to nourish ourselves physically as well with good nutrition. With lots of water. There's a lot of changes. This change isn't just, this is also change at a molecular, at a cellular, at a DNA level. And so we really want to be nourishing ourselves to support that process as well. Yeah. Let's see what else. Then we have faith coming out with action, right? So there it is, divinely inspired action. Have faith in your dreams, right? We have Jupiter retrograde going on. So we are being asked, right? This is even the action card is very beautiful and divine and feminine. Right, but this is being in our feminine, being from our feminine, acting from our masculine, guided by our feminine. If that makes any sense. Yeah. So we act from that place of faith. We are being asked to have courage, to have faith right now. That's why the Aries I Am card was the first card out. To have faith in ourselves, to have faith in our dreams, to act from that place, even if we are afraid, to act from a place of faith, to really dig down deep within ourselves, to find that faith, to find that trust, even if we don't know how things are going to play out, even if we don't know how things are going to work out, to act as though we do, even if we don't believe that things are going to work out, to act as though they will, to believe, yeah. That's it. I could keep saying it a million different ways, but that's it right there. Act as if. We don't want to act as if to the point of completely faking everything in our lives, but sometimes we need to. And so this is one of those times. Act as if you have faith. If you believed you could not fail, what would you do? That's the action we want to take. Whatever the answer to that question is. What would you do if you believed that you could not fail? Faith in action. Faith in action is that energy, right? When we don't necessarily have all the answers. We don't necessarily know how everything's going to work out. We don't necessarily see manifested in our physical reality all the proof and the validation that we want before we do something, but we know and we believe that it is right. We feel called to it, and so we do it. Faith is built in those times where things don't always appear on the outside as though, like, things aren't necessarily going well when we have faith. You know, like, you never hear somebody say when somebody's going through a trying time is most often when you hear people say, you need to have faith, just have faith, right? When things are going great, nobody says, have faith. Because you already have it. You already have it during those times. You don't even think about it. It's not even a thing. Faith is created and developed in the trenches of adversity and challenge. And so if you are going through those right now, just know that you are building that faith. Know that that's when you call upon it. That's how you cultivate it. And eventually you just live in that state of faith. But it's built out of those experiences. That's when we're really drawn to call upon it. Yeah. And we act with faith, right? Faith in action is when we go for our dreams, when we take the risks that we intuitively are guided to take, when we take that leap. And we just trust that there's going to be a net there. There's going to be actually, no, not even, because we don't need a net because we're not going to fall. And then we have attraction. Faith in action, attraction, surrender. And realization on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. We are attracting so much simply by our focus. Simply by our focused intent. Simply by taking that taking those actions based in faith. And by surrendering. This is not a time to force anything. This is a time to step into our feminine. Right? Okay, yeah, so there we go. The feminine attracts. Right? If you are attracting something, that means you're drawing it to you. If you're drawing it to you, you cannot be chasing it. And so that's what attracting is. It's sitting in our feminine, sitting in our heart space, sitting in our vibration, and attracting to us all that we desire from that place of surrender. That is faith in action as well. Surrender is faith in action. Surrender is when we release. Surrender is when we let go. Surrender is when we release the desire and the need to control. When we allow things to be as they will be. When we surrender, when we release, when we let go, we're then able to attract in what's truly meant for us. All right. Yeah, I feel like, actually, let's see. We're going to pull something that tells us a story here. I was thinking that, but I want... We haven't pulled from this in a while. I'm going to pull from the Earth Warriors Oracle for you guys. It's just jumping right off there. Clear. Let's get some guidance from the Earth Warriors Oracle for this Cancer season. Guidance for Cancer season. Realizations here. A lot of realizations that unlock doors. It's like doorways in the mind is what I'm really feeling. And that's a 3 card. That's a master number. All right. And so we have coming through the blessing of Kumu. No good thing shall be withheld. And I'm going to read this for you guys from the book. And that's a number 9 card, which is a powerful spiritual number. It's also the number of endings, of the closures of cycles, right? The universe wants to express its creativity, healing, and brilliance through you. It does not want to be limited to repeating what has already been. Newness needs to burst through you into startling expressions of abundant life. You are guided into unknown territory, guided to go beyond that which you have known yourself and your world to be, so that something original and necessary can be brought to life. The universe knows all that you are in need of so that you can best attain your destiny. All shall be provided for you. Expand your faith to allow for the greater workings of Great Spirit. So this is about resources coming to you now. If you have been in lack, limitation, or anxiety about such things happening, relax and substitute your stress, right? Surrender for absolute trust that the universe will provide all good things with generosity and grace attraction. If you find this challenging, take it one step at a time, reprogramming your heart and mind into new habits of peaceful trust. It will feel much better to live like this. It is not foolishness, but wisdom that embraces such unconditional faith. Know that the provision of all resources required is a certainty. The only variables are the details of how the journey unfolds. When you tune into your heart, you'll remember that you are loved, protected, and guided in every moment. Trust the universe. When you are a dreamer, visionary, and a seer of the need for transformation in our world, it can be easy to feel intimidated, to dismiss the possibility for radical change as unrealistic, to believe that the greatest of our visions are unattainable in the real world. However, many things that were once considered to be impossible to the human mind are now part of our daily lives. The impossible becomes possible on a regular basis. Remember, guys, all possibilities are possible. Kumu is the Hawaiian term for teacher and source of wisdom. The universe is the great Kumu. When we trust in the universe, we come to understand certain truths, including the realization that we don't have to be limited to what we logically know. If we are willing to expand our faith, then that which we are capable of experiencing in harmony with the universe will expand also. Your beautiful and perhaps impossible seeming dreams are supported by the unlimited resources of the universe. If you can dream it, you can achieve it, right? Even if you don't know what is needed and when, in order to create a successful outcome, the universe does. You are being guided to reset your mind and heart to unconditional trust. This can be a challenge for the human part of us that tends to give weight mostly to what can be perceived through the 5 bodily senses. Yet for your spirit, this is easy. The spirit within you knows the incredible power of the divine to bring together all aspects of life in the perfect way at the perfect time for astounding success. Your spirit knows that when you take action on your most apparently impossible divine mission, from a position of faith rather than a more limited perspective, the universe helps you every step of the way. It is time to adjust your belief systems to encompass this entire universe as your creative partner in life. It provides you with resources, opportunities, and learning experiences to gain precious information and life skills, so that you are singularly and completely equipped to do what you have come to this planet to do. Kumu, the great wisdom teacher, guides you now. Don't allow your mind to create visions of poverty or lack, of failure or absence of support. Remember, you guys, work through your fears. Let me find where we were here. Focus instead. Focus. I love how this is tying everything together here. Upon the sweet generosity of the universe lovingly providing for you, often in advance of you consciously realizing what you need, with all that is necessary for your best life and fulfillment of your sacred purpose. All the answers, the connections, the resources, everything that you need is right there for you at the best moment. With a focus on a feeling of excitement about opportunities, inspirational innovation, and the best and brightest of human creative endeavor, surge forward in harmony with each other to establish sustainable new systems. You can lend your energy, your mind, and your body to what you want to have happen in this world. The universe will hear and feel you and provide resources accordingly. Let your thoughts and hopes become your prayers, and the answers to those prayers will benefit all life on this planet. So that's really beautiful. And this also talks about working with the energy of gratitude. Working with the energy of gratitude. Stating your gratitude, making gratitude lists. Noticing the things that you're grateful for that you've already achieved, that have already come to pass in your life. Right? Which is another way to build that faith. When we talk about building faith, we talk about that adversity, right? And how that's the stuff that builds faith. Through that process, when we come out the other side, and we are stronger for it, and we see how everything lined up, even when we thought that all was lost, how something came through, right? How we came through, how we made it through. That's when our faith, that's what builds that faith, is being able to look back on that experience and know and see that, and see how we were always being guided and always being protected, even when we felt as though we were not. And so looking back on those experiences and having gratitude for those, and having gratitude for everything that is coming in here, which is a lot, you guys. This was a beautiful reading. Anybody who has been in that energy, and this is that full moon in Capricorn energy, that chase your dreams energy. Go after your dreams, believe in yourself, do it. Take that leap. This was coming up over and over again in the live that I just did as well. Just such powerful energy, such powerful inspiration for everyone to continue moving forward and know that you will be supplied with everything you need as you walk your divine path. All right. So much love and appreciation for you guys. If you like this video, hit that like button. Drop a comment. Let me know how you're feeling Cancer season, how these energies are resonating. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And there's also a list of my services in the description box below, along with my email. Shoot me an email if you want to work one-on-one, working through any of these energies. Please, please, please reach out to me. I love working with you guys in that capacity. I just love you all so much. You're amazing. You have everything within you to achieve everything that you want to achieve. Really utilize this season to get in touch with yourself, to get in touch with those goals and those dreams and those aspirations, and to really deepen that faith, that sense of faith and trust in the universe, knowing that the universe has your back.